had passed since they left the Garden of Eden. Life had progressed for Adam and Eve, and from that progression, children were born. The first was a boy named Cain. Cain produced crops and fruit-bearing trees. The second, his younger brother, was called Abel. Abel grew up to tend livestock. He was the first to make food from the animals which God had created and Adam had named. Both boys also learned the ways of worshiping the one true God. Well, the devil would try to change that. All he needed was to make someone as curious about sin as Eve had been. Convincing the fallen angels they could overthrow the God of heaven, well, the devil had already done that. These men, they just needed a little push. The boys had learned that in the worship of Almighty God, there was a right way and a wrong way. Cain, in his worship, chose poorly. He violated the commands of God in the offering he presented. Meanwhile, Abel brought an acceptable offering. God's acceptance of Abel's offering and his rejection of Cain's nearly drove Cain mad. Cain had never been one to hide his emotions, and he certainly couldn't now, especially from Almighty God. God spoke to Cain. "Why are you angry? Why is your face so dark with rage? You knew what you needed to do if you wanted your offering accepted. You cannot blame Abel. It was you who failed, not he. If you present an acceptable offering, I will surely reward you. If not, then you must suffer the consequences. You need to fight against the desire to hate others for your own faults." But Cain was not interested in fighting the rage inside him. He wanted to let it grow. And it grew until he could control it no longer. He lured Abel out into the fields, away from his father's tents. He didn't have a plan, just a burning hatred. In a fit of rage, he picked up a rock and smashed it against Abel's head again, and again, and again. He looked down at his brother's body, and then at the blood-stained rock in his hand. He let it slip from his fingers and fall to the dust. The blood coursing through his veins caused his hearing to be dull and his vision to grow fuzzy. He didn't get it. He had thought he would feel, well, something. A relief of some kind. But he felt no relief, no remorse. Just a dull pull where the anger had lived. Slowly his brain began to function again, and as his vision cleared and his hearing cleared, he heard the voice of God. "Cain, Cain, where is Abel your brother?" Cain was defensive. "How should I know? Am I my brother's keeper?" The Lord became angry. "What have you done? Tell me. The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. The very ground where you raised your crops has pronounced a curse on you because of your brother's blood. You can till and plant and weed and hoe all you want, but the ground will produce nothing for you. Your descendants will have to wander from place to place, hunting wild animals and gathering what wild plants you can find, if there are any. Cain's breathing grew heavy and broken from emotion. You have cursed me beyond what I can bear. I will be a fugitive, a hunted man forever. Anyone who sees me will try to kill me. I will not let that happen. If anyone were to kill you or your descendants, I will strike back upon them 7 times over. The Lord's mark appeared on Cain and his offspring. When other people of the ancient world saw it, they stayed away and left Cain's descendants alone. Cain and his family left the area where Adam and Eve had settled. Cain spent the rest of his life as a wanderer and a nomad. His descendants did not serve God. They became a violent, undisciplined, and uncivilized people. Meanwhile, Satan was well pleased with himself. He had manipulated Cain's anger perfectly. Satan did not rest, nor did the demons who had followed him in the plummet from heaven to hellbound. They worked hard to turn Cain's descendants even farther from God. Cain's descendants became a sordid bunch. The demons taught them secret things long before they were ready to know them. The human race became arrogant, contentious, debauched. They began to worship idols they had made, or they worshiped nature, rivers, trees, or celestial bodies. The demons even became enthralled by the human women. They intermarried and bred children who were giant, warlike creatures. Cain's descendants led the ancient world in doing evil continually. Their every thought was how they could become more and more evil. The devil was sure he had won. Abel was dead, and Cain was accursed. There would be no Messiah coming from Adam's seed. At least that's what he thought. Until a messenger brought him the news that Eve was pregnant yet again. This time, Adam and Eve named the boy Seth. And Seth grew and had a child named Enosh, who grew and had a son named Kenan. Kenan's son was named Mahalalel, and Mahalalel had a son named Jared. Then came Enoch, Methuselah, and Lamech. And Lamech had a son, who he called Noah.